Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. This is Sho, and I'm going to be bringing you another Monarch support guide today. And this video is going to be exclusively on the game's true ending, specifically known as the happy route or the happy ending in Japan. Now, I will give a fair warning. First, there will be minor spoilers. I'm going to avoid any big name drops or major events, but I will be going through sort of the structure of the game, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to do any name dropping, but do note that you will basically need to kind of have an idea on the game's progression in order to be able to get there. Also, do note that I am using the Japanese version of the game. This is obviously because I bought the Japanese version way back in November. I've spent a good probably 75 to 80 hours so far with it, so I can basically show you everything I need to by using this copy. Do note that I will be guiding you through everything in English, and I will put any English text on the screen or in the video description below for references if you need it. With that said, let's talk about the happy ending. Now to do this, I'm going to divide, there we go, the video up into 3 parts, talking about where you need to be to get the happy ending, what you need to do to get the happy ending, and finally how to do it to be able to view that final cutscene and basically get the game's true ending. I'll have timestamps basically down below, so feel free to reference them if you need to. With that said, let's jump in. Now, where you need to be. So you'll need to beat the game 1 time. What does this mean? You'll need to complete Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 and watch the credits. So Act 1 is of course the beginning of the game, all the way up into the route split, which signifies the start of Act 2, where the game pulls a bit of a bravely default and has you do a little bit of a repetition, so to speak. And yeah, it doesn't really feel all that good, and it gets progressively harder. So that's probably one of my major criticisms of the game. But if you're able to persevere through that, you get some pretty cool stuff, and you move on to Act 3, which is essentially just the final 2 battles of the game. If you are able to do that, you will see the ending credits, and your opening screen will change when you load up the game, so you'll be able to see the gate. So if you notice that your loading screen has changed from the original crystal to a massive gate, you know you have set up the proper requirements to be able to unlock the true ending route. Now, what do we have to do to get the true ending? Well, that's pretty simple. If you remember, in order to access the final boss over the course of the game, at least your first regular playthrough, you'll be building a phone number at the top of your screen. This phone number is the final boss number. You need to rebuild this number from the ground up in order to have access to the final true boss. Because when you beat the game and you load it up, it all gets wiped away. Now, it's important to note with this phone number a few things. First, and very importantly, it's unique to your playthrough. So I cannot give you my number, and you cannot give your number to someone else. So there's no way I can share with you any number that would get you right access to it. Second, and most importantly, you cannot brute force the number. Basically, the number is randomly generated, and each number you get is essentially a key. So you'll need all 9 numbers or all 9 keys to change whatever level that would normally call into the final boss level. So there's no easy way to get access to the final boss. You literally just need to build that number from the ground up. Now, let's talk about the how. And this is where things get kind of convoluted, so bear with me. How to build this number requires you to go in and win 9 throne battles. What are throne battles? They are basically high-powered boss fights. So each of the 9 bosses in the game will basically come back, and you will need to fight each one of them in these super-powered levels. Essentially, each of these is done roughly around level 90 to 95, so you don't need to be max level, but it's highly recommended. Every time you clear one of these battles, one of these throne battles, you'll get another number added to the top of your screen. Now, in my case here, since I'm using a little bit of an older save, you'll see that I have 2 numbers up there. That indicates that I have cleared 2 of the 9 boss battles. You need to complete all 9 to build that number completely up. So, I don't have any specific strategies except for just know everything, or try everything that you've learned throughout the course of the whole game, using your resonance or empathy, using good skills, positioning, these battles are really taxing and on average take a solid 30 or more minutes to complete. So, you know, good luck with that. They're really challenging battles. In fact, this was actually a part of a campaign done in Japan. It turns out that the current clothes you see my character is wearing, these formal wear, this was actually given as free DLC to everyone in Japan if one person could clear the happy ending of the game. Luckily, a bunch of people did, kind of not too long after the promotion went on, so we all got free DLC in Japan, which is cool. But yeah, it's quite intensive. Now, you're going to be asking, probably, okay, more numbers, great. How do we get these numbers, right? We got these thrones. How do we get these thrones? Well, this is where things get really, really, really interesting. So without having an easy way to describe things, basically what you'll need to do is you will need to, well, yeah, you're going to need to find them. Now, when you beat the game, you're given witness to this screen here. So this is a tutorial. Basically, each of the 9 bosses, their numbers can be dropped from sort of a special drop from certain levels. So I think they're mostly from the Abyss levels. And basically, what you'll need to do is you'll need to farm the Abyss over and over and over again to get access to the number. Now, these things are drops. And by drops, I mean they are basically gotcha level drops. Like less than 1% sort of drops. In fact, the tutorial that I have on the screen here, that you see right now in Japanese, basically says, when you find this number, if you manage to find one, you should go online and tell your friends to see if they have any numbers. So you should share this as much as you can, because these numbers are so rare to get that you're going to have to work together. That was sort of the basis of why they did that free promo campaign I talked about earlier, because they wanted the community as a whole to work together to get the true ending. Because honestly, I mean, I in my leveling video, I showed everyone the 2 to 3 turn clear. I've done that, gosh, 100 times, and I still have not actually had a number drop for me. So yeah, it's intense. But luckily, and here's the best part, these numbers are actually static. They are not unique to each individual person. And in the description down below, I will put all 9 phone numbers down there for you to be able to use. That way, you don't have to worry about trying to get those drops. You'll have instant access to them when you beat the game. But again, do note, and this is incredibly important, that you need to be extremely high level. These battles are intense. Extremely, extremely intense. So, fair warning to you on that one. So, if you are able, again, to collect all 9 numbers, which you should already have, you're able to beat all those levels and get that number on your phone, you'll be able to dial out and fight the final boss, which is basically the final boss in their true form, max power with all of the support help that the final boss gets. So be warned, it's a very intense battle, but you can do it if you keep a cool head and you are able to navigate the challenge with strength. So with that said, that's pretty much all for this video here. I hope the information was really helpful for everyone trying to get their hands on the true ending and trying to get that achievement unlocked, as well as just seeing how the game ends. You get some pretty good rewards, actually. You sort of are given a nice little reward at the end if you make it to the true end. So I'm not going to spoil anything about that, but it's nice. Anyway, if this guide was helpful, please be sure to drop a like. Leave me some comments down below if you have any questions about anything at all. I'd be happy to help. If you're looking for combat tips, I might try to put something together for that. Maybe like an advanced battle guide. But otherwise, yeah, if you have any comments, questions, let me know. And if this was super helpful and you want to send your love my way, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Again, I always feel your love through that, so thank you for sending your love. With that said, this is Show, and I hope you have a good, safe time. Catch you later. Cheers!